Hello Rovers and welcome back to another viewer account review. Today we are reviewing one of the accounts that we've reviewed before, but this time around we'll be giving them an actual score, and that is Merlin's account. If I remember correctly, they did pay someone to build their Galbrena, right? It's time for yeah, bruh. So let's see how well built Galbrena is now. We also pay him to do Chuyen. Alright. Okay. The energy regen's a bit low. So this is S0R1. But I do believe that this Galbrena is nicer looking than the last one that we remembered. 4-5, 4-5, 2-5, 3-5, 4-5. Okay, off to a great start. I guess that's money decently well spent. As covered on stream since you were there, Merlin, you will want to change this 3-cost attack to fusion because double fusion is better. I highly encourage you to visit websites like Britwin so that you can check the build setups that you can do for the most effective damage. As you can see for Galbrena, for both static miss and signature weapon, double element works better than element and attack. Moving on to Chuyen, I would say that he is another money decently well spent. You have all the most important stats that he needs, such as 130% energy regen and more than 65% crit rate, so you can leave him be. Besides, he is not worth over-investing since he's not doing as much damage compared to the usual sub DPSs anyways, and you're also lacking the signature weapon, all the more not worth. Moving on to brand, the brand build is beautiful. If you want to min-max your brand further, you can go with 1 fusion and 1 energy regen because that is how you're gonna maximize your brand damage. But for your crit fish build to truly work, since you do not have a shorekeeper, you would want to rework on your Hurry Claw, which has a low crit rate, and your Dragon of Dirge, the crit damage one, for a higher crit rate as well. So that you could actually just use your crit fish brand all the way at 65% crit rate, so that his crits will be a lot more reliable. On to Zenny. Zenny with the brick energy regen, attack, crit rate, crit damage is fine. Crit rate is the 69.3%, so that's exactly what you like to see. The perfect number. Why is this R2? You got 2 copies in 10 pool. How lucky. Okay, so it's S0R2. Yo, this is a pretty nice looking 4-5. Highest roll crit damage and second highest roll attack. Now that's exactly what you like to see. The crit rate ain't half bad either. And 4-5, 3-5, 3-5, and 3-5. Yeah, this Jenny is quite okay really. Unless you want to min-max a bit more, then I guess you want to rework on this one first because this one has lowest crit rate, second lowest crit damage, the attack is kind of mid-roll, but with 69% is still like kind of short of that 70%, which is always the nice extra 1% to have. But that's only if you want to rework on Zenny. Otherwise, I think it's quite okay. BB is 2.4k attack. Hold on. First things first, Moonlit. Okay. Luminous Heim. Luminous Heim, but the crit damage is kind of low. Means that you are on a crit rate Heron. Then the other professor that visits your class during presentation. Now you got 2 professors reviewing your performance. I did tell you to use Moonlit, but not crit rate Moonlit. Use the crit damage. Crit damage. Where's the crit damage Heron? You still don't have crit damage Heron? Oh, minus 20 points. I mean, sure, she is Zenny's buff bot. And sure, this crit damage and crit rate here looks very nice. But I think that's a little bit too much crit rate, man. But anyways, Sina's right. Moonlight Clouds is not the most important thing to min-max. Why is this HP? Number 1, you only want to start min-maxing sub DPS when main DPSs have those 3-5 and 4-5 stats. That's where you want to start looking into having better looking stats for your sub DPSs. And actually, because Confession Phoebe is also not doing a lot of damage either, so therefore, not bad. Not the best, but not bad. Also, Sina, this is Merlin's account review number 2, so I'll have to be a bit stricter. Okay, so Carlotta, crit rate's okay, but crit damage is on the low side. Are you using static miss? You are using static miss. Okay, yeah, no signature. Oh, come on. What the hell is this? Why is this? I'm pretty sure this hasn't been fixed. 3-5, 3-5, 3-5, 2-5. Missing 1 crit rate here, which kind of does puts it such that you cannot remove anything here. You want to get some crit rate here first, and some other extra like one more stat here before you look into like reworking on this one. Cause otherwise, if you rework on this one now, your crit rate is going to be bricked. For Camellia, while she has great crit stats, her attack and basic attack are low because you only have double crit rolls on 3 of the 5 echoes. Remember, you want a balance of stats rather than having only double crits. Also, you'll want the Nightmare Crownless, which is best in slot for Camellia since it has Havoc and basic attack passive bonus. After getting your Nightmare Crownless, you will want to rework on your Warm cost because your crit rate will be lower, unless you get super lucky with another 10.5 crit rate on your new Nightmare Crownless. 像要 energy regen on the low side. Crit rate is also a bit on the low side. Okay, this is a pretty nice looking 4-5. And then we're back to 2-5 territory, 3-5 territory without a crit, 3-5 and 4-5. No wonder his crit rate is kind of brick because he does not have crit rate over here. You forgot about him. I didn't we like go through this review before and then you forgot about him? Are you gonna forget about him again? Yeah, okay, got it. For min-maxing purposes, I would probably go with this one first, get like 3-5 or better 4-5 before we look into this one because this is a pretty nice 4-5. Okay, anyways, yeah, this is this is too much crit rate, so let's use the crit damage one, which is better, a lot more energy regen. So this is technical 4-5, technical 5-5, 4-5, technical 4-5 as well, and a technical 5-5. So by far your Changli is the best looking one. Okay, I wouldn't touch your Changli if I were you. Okay, on to Jinxie. Jinxie not having enough attack, energy regens, maybe okay, maybe low. Ages of Harvest. Think we're missing quite a lot of crits here, considering that you're using crit rate and not crit damage Jue. So with crit damage Jue, yeah, the crit rate is 50-50, huh? Let's see why. Okay, 4-5, technical 4-5, missing crit, V5. Oh, you pull her cause of height and you don't like her no more. But if you're not using Jinxie anymore, I guess we'll just leave her be. Okay, moving on to Verena. Verena 200% energy regen. That's perfect E5 variation. Very nice. Do you have extra variations? You do. You do have extra variations. Make this R5. Is there any change? Is Verena S2 now? Still S1. Boo! Brick. -10. Is R5 variation that good? I refuse to answer that. I absolutely refuse to answer that. Okay, Spectral Rover. Pretty sure you'll be using the Emerald of Genesis. Frazzle set. Leftover Frazzle set, I guess. You can use Spectral Rover with Zenny, Phoebe. Then in that case, you will be using the healing set instead of the spectral set. Okay, now your Jianxin set that you said you're building for Frolova. In that case, it'll be 3-5, 2-5, 2-5, 3-5. Why is this half built? Well, if we are looking from Frolova right now, it'll be a 60% crit rate, which is kind of low. Assuming you do get her weapon, which is like 24.3, then it will be a lot better at 84.3. This one definitely replaced because none of these are going to work on Frolova. It's essentially a 2-5 for Frolova. This one is also a 2-5 for Frolova. This one is slightly better, but you want to get a crit damage. And for the last one, well, good luck getting the last one. You could take this one from Camellia, which is a 3-5. Saving you the trouble of having to find another echo. And maybe you could take this one from Camellia as well if you're no longer using Camellia, because Frolova just entirely outshines Camellia, so there's no reason for you to be using Camellia anyways. Basic attack is needed? No, not really. Basic attack is more of a cope stat. You want more of resonance skill, attack percentage, and flat attack. Kelcharo with a very brick looking kind of echo set already. Might as well not equip these and use as spotters, man. Oh yeah, you can tell that you don't use Kelcharo. Everyone else is. kind of whatever at this point. Merlin quick queue up for third account review GG. No, not endless collapse. Use overture. Overture. And then okay, this one's great. This one's great. Why is your Heron the best one in the entirety of Merlin's account? You know why? Energy regen is highest roll, crit damage highest roll, liberation highest roll, attack second highest roll, and crit rate is also like pretty high roll as well. So the irony, man, the irony. Okay, the rest of the stats are like whatever. What do you mean what? Yeah, it's all highs. What in the world is this? Why would Mortefi have two random echo sets like that? Not you, was the guy. Okay. I mean, you can always just out of death this one, so it's kind of like whatever. Nothing else here. Okay, cool. So everyone else just empty, and we have these bunch of correctors. Look at the amount of resonators that you have raised. In terms of the amount of resonators you have raised, you kind of do have enough for tower. So that's 4 points per tower for the weapons. And you do have a good amount of 5-star weapons. Quite a few signatures here and there as well. So there's a 5. For echo builds, what do I even want to give for the echo builds? Let's see. Let's take a quick look across the board. Across the board, I would say it's not too bad. It's not like the kind of 10 out of 10 kind of builds, but I would say it's like an 8 to 9 out of 10 kind of builds. 10 out of 10 would be like you have everything at 3-5 and 4-5s. So I shall be stricter and give you an 8 out of 10. But because you have like 2 effective 5-5s on Changli, that puts you at a natural 10. So you have to thank your Changli for that. Now I do remember there was like something cursed somewhere, which is your Jinxie. So I shall -1 from your Jinxie as well. Because Jinxie got disrespected, and we don't disrespect the magistrate like that. So that puts you at 9 for Echo build. They have the best one piece mullet, but for sub DPSs, I look at them as a whole. And this is clearly not a sub DPS well built into a main DPS, so that is not eligible for 1 point. Now, let's look at map exploration. Map exploration is... what is this? Merlin, why do we have a bunch of 99% like that? Do you get a kick out of seeing like 99%? Well, your exploration gets a 4 because there's a bunch of unfinished ones. Right off the bat, we're seeing 35 out of 36, which is great. 35 out of 36 means that your tower clear is at least an 11. For Wuwa clear is 2 out of 8, so I guess it's a 0 for Wuwa. Merlin, where do you play Wuwa on? Fine, you get a 2 point. Actually, you know what? -0.5 for Jinxie instead of -1. Okay, so currently your account is sitting at 35 points. It's on the good section. You have massive skill issue. I mean, the fact that you can hit 35 out of 36 on tower, that's not bad. Wuwa will be another issue because Wuwa is a lot more different than tower. So let's deal with your tower first because I think your tower can be pretty fast. Still waiting and saving for Cantrella banner. Okay, so we have Zenny, Phoebe, and Spectral Rover. And Spectral Rover, let's change Rover's stuff really quickly. Emerald of Genesis, Arena's Echo Set. Of course, the Zenny, Phoebe, Rover team cannot be done in a 1-1-1 rotation. Forbidden Scrolls info soon. Hello, Sunny.
定時退社だ。光よ、聞いてみよう。任せてよ。もうすぐ退勤時間だ。まとめてこい。行くよ。
This guy can't be any more slower than this. And
この光で。時間の無駄だね。神罰でこれが最後。脆い。一気に行くよ。聞いてみよう。まだまだ。最初の5か分。はっ、やっ、浄化の光。はっ、響け。切り裂く。さあ。少しは遊んでやろう。答えて救済はもたらす。青い鳥よ。すべてを照らす光よ。聞いてみよう。行くよ。この光で。
just like that, you'll be done. Easiest tower clear of my life. Aha, I see. If you're having trouble, you can always use the Judgment Lost flag, or you can use Reveler's Captain Seal. And if you absolutely need, then Plunderer's Captain Seal, because Plunderer's Captain Seal is kind of like your last resort. Falling Star that has Fate Apart is a trap token. It's only if you have enough damage to get to the wave to activate it. Otherwise, it is not that good to use. I think Baizhi is the one that's slowing your rotation down by a lot, so therefore you don't want to use Baizhi. Instead, probably use someone else. Now, question is, what the hell do we use here? I'm gonna go with something simple. Like the Camilla team does work already. Like, it's not the best, but it certainly does work already. I'm gonna use Camilla here. Then the second team is going to be maybe like this. What motivates you to say Tao Chi? Why 6 with his usual shenanigans? Camellia, can we not hit only airborne units? Sheesh. Every time you do this kind of crap, it's actually annoying. If only we had Nightmare Crowners here, I think it would have been a lot easier. No, it's a correct rotation because I'm playing it very differently. I'm playing it by using the... You see, if I use the nuke here, right? You look at how many of them I'm dealing with. 4 people to nuke, not very worth. Instead, if I use the nuke here on a fresh wave like this, you see how I can clear it. So there's a difference between following the rotation 1-1-1 and doing it hypothetically correctly versus changing your rotation a bit so that you can use your skills to the maximize maximum efficiency. That's the difference between Tower and Wuwa. In Wuwa, you don't want to be following your rotation perfectly 1-1-1 because that's actually sometimes how you break your run. Oh my god, what's this? Oh. Nah. I've actually tried different forms of rotation before. The reason why I don't nuke first, right, is because it actually slows down the rotation by a lot. Let's see how I'm able to get 2.6k here, right? If I were to do the nuke first and then use Liberation to rebuild Concerto, I will not have enough time to get her nuke back. Because her nuke will still be, or rather, I will be doing it too fast to the point that her nuke wouldn't come back. This rotation is actually the best for how I play Camellia. And with Sanhua and Verena. I've tried it before. If I nuke first, my score is going to be so much lower.
これで終わりよ。もうすぐ退勤時間だ。まとめてこい。さあ。これが最終。聞いてみよう。すべて照らす光。
Okay, bro, they're one movement. Hey, you do the button mashing. I am doing the strategic Camellia gameplay here. Not have any grouping on Zenny's criminal? Yeah, it is. I have a rune. Hey, you can afford button mashing. Exactly. You can afford button mashing. Us poor peasants cannot afford button mashing. I feel like I'm not playing this team properly. Yeah, and the other problem is that they are spawning in way too slowly. Like, way too slowly. But good enough. Perfectly on the dot. Okay, well, and that is for episode 2 of Merlin's account review. As we can see here, their team is good enough to handle Tower of Adversity, 36 Crescent. Their Whimpering Waste is a little bit on the iffier side, but it's still very much doable. Camellia, although she has fallen off, she still can like get a reliable 2.5, 2.6k. And then so that means your other team just needs around 2k and then you'll be good. So therefore that puts Merlin's account as good, and that's for the viewer account review. Hope you all enjoyed it. And for those of you watching on YouTube, hope you learned something. And Merlin, please work on your damned echo builds already. I don't want to see like some of them still being bricked in the next account review. Anyways, happy gaming Rovers, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Goodbye.